My name is Jenny Alberti, and this is Tracy Brown. And we have the lovely Laurie Bedard with us today. And Laurie is one of the contributing authors to Broken, which is the second book in the Wounded Woman series. And today we're going to be talking to Laurie, finding out a little bit about her, finding out what called her to want to contribute to this amazing book project. And we have a couple of questions just to get to know her and why she's a part of this. So welcome, Laurie. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about you and help people?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to you, Tracy and Jenny, for including me in your family of authors. I just want to thank you for that. How do I help others? In my personal life, I just try to be as authentic and as honest as I can be. So I do share my struggles. I share the struggles I've had with mental illness, parenting, motherhood, living with 5 boys. I share a lot of those struggles. And professionally, I'm a clinical counselor, and so I am helping people all day. And I use the same approach in my professional life as in my personal life, and that is, I just try to be authentic, and as down to earth and open as I can be. And I think sometimes that helps other people realize that, what, you don't have to be all put together to be, you know, um, successful or happy or balanced. It's really not about that. It's about embracing the waves.
Absolutely. It really is,
Yeah.
isn't it? And it's funny you mentioned that the book that I released with 16 other amazing women in September, called Quiet and Badass, was about just that, about embracing your uniqueness. And it's not about being polished. It's not about being, an influencer and being who everybody expects that we should be, but really embracing who we are and helping people with that, because it's a superpower. So I resonate with that so much, Laurie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. So tell us a little bit now, you know, you and I and you and Tracy, we haven't known each other really very long at all, right? So
No.
so tell us, when you saw this project, it wasn't because you had, been following us or knew of us or anything. So something may have grabbed you and made you feel really called to contribute. So can you share what that may have been?
Well, although we haven't known each other, I feel energetically we kind of been hanging out for a long time, Um, you know,
I know what that.
introverts, we kind of stay on our side of the room, but our energy meshes. But honestly, the the title of the book that I'm contributing to, Broken, really, for some reason, at the time that I saw the book covers, it really called to me. And the fact that it's women supporting women. I lived for many years with 6 men, boys/men, right?
I have to
And
say, I
honestly,
really admire that. Raising
I
5 boys, amazing.
yeah, and I love them, but to be the only woman in this space means there's really no depth of conversation. Nothing, there were kids, but being supported by women and surrounded by women, it's just a different experience. It's not better or worse, but it called to me at this particular time in my life, because I feel like I wish I would have had more mentors when I was going through my struggles, when I thought I was the worst human being in the world. I wish I had met more women who were, hey, I was broken and I put the pieces back together, and I interrupted something that, in my history, I interrupted that and I broke that as well. And so, the ability to just work around that word. It's always meant so much to me. And I've always loved that word actually to describe myself. But I put beautifully in front of it, right? Like I'm beautifully broken. I am who I am because of my fractured pieces, because of the whole from all the broken pieces. And when I put it back together, and so really the word called to me, and the cover and the whole essence of this being women really being there to support one another.
Wow. I resonate with that too. The like the word and the title and the cover really calling to you. That was Tracy and I met because we were in our first multi-author book project together. And for me, the title Aligned Leaders, aligned that was my word for the year.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to be fully aligned with all the things that I want, and my actions need to reflect that. And so for me, it drew me in, like Aligned Leaders, and the cover, it was perfect. And so I resonate with that because it does make a big difference in, is this project right for me? Right? Like, do the words speak to me? Does the cover call to me? Does the subtitle call to me? And it sounds like it checked all the boxes for you. Yeah.
Yeah, and even aesthetically, honestly, the colors, just to be honest, if we're talking about aligning, very earthy, I just felt, connected to it, that would be a book that I would want to pick up and read.
I
Um,
really,
so yeah.
I resonate so much with what you were saying about feeling like you were alone and you wished that you had had people telling you that it was okay, that you were normal, that you weren't broken, and being surrounded a lot by this masculine energy, in your case with a house full of boys growing into men. But I feel like part of the Birth of the Wounded Women series in general came from this desire. In fact, also my first book, Lunar Wisdom, that I published through Gemini Moon Press, like Jenny, it was this desire to really connect and create this community of women who were supporting each other, because it felt to me like, as I became a woman of a certain age, and you start realizing you've only got one go over in this life, right? You don't get to go back and do it over. So there's no benefit in continuing to play small and hide behind our fears and our doubts and things like that. But it is really hard to break that social conditioning. And we can only really do that when women come together and when we work together and when we are laying these foundations to heal the collective by sharing our stories and sharing our struggles and finding those pieces that resonate in each other's stories, because that's when our hearts connect and it's when our souls and our energy connects. And so I am beyond words when I say that I am thrilled that this is the kind of thing that resonated for you about what we wanted to achieve with this book. And I couldn't be happier that you are coming on board and sharing your story with us.
Thank you. And I'm really excited to be a part of this. Growing up, I always felt on the outside of womanhood. I was not typically what society told us a woman was. And I feel like this is one of the reasons I do resonate with the whole idea of women supporting each other, because there's a place for all of us in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like you don't have to be on the outside. And there's all different types. And, from when we met some of the other authors, I really felt welcomed and included and accepted, which is like a full circle moment.
Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy. So moving on from there, so you felt called to contribute to Broken, and you've talked about realizing that you weren't broken anymore. What is it that you hope that your chapter is going to do to help the readers?
I hope that anybody who reads it, but in particular women of all ages, to see that your history and what you come from. So I guess it's like I don't want people to pathologize themselves anymore. I want them to see, like, often what I say with my clients is, well, why wouldn't you have anxiety, or why wouldn't you be like, given the journey you've been on and the road you've been on, it makes perfect sense. And now, things have been done to you, but now it's time for you to create a new history, right? To take that history, learn from it, even honor it in a sense, so that you can create something new for yourself and then for the generations to come. And I want people to see, like, it's very attainable. The change is attainable. It's daunting, but it's one step at a time. And then you look back and you say, wow, did I come from there? Like, it's incredible. So I guess it's just to let people know that there's hope in any situation, and that, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. It's just starts with an intention to change.
Oh, I love that. I love that you said it starts with an intention, because it is one step at a time, one day at a time. And we don't know just how far we can get, even when it seems like we're only making those incremental changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people will be able to resonate with that, because often when we are looking at where we are and where we want to be, it seems like there's a mountain involved to get there. We have to cross a mountain, and we look up and we think, how am I ever going to do that? But the truth is that we don't go from where we are to the top of the mountain in a single step. And, it is that setting that intention and then taking those steps that gets us there. And it is amazing. And I look forward to reading all of your words of wisdom about your journey, because I already feel like it's going to resonate so strongly for me, and I'm sure it will for many of our other authors, but also our readers as well.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hoping that I could be like a Sherpa, I'm not necessarily even a mountain guide. I'm not the mountain guide. I'm a Sherpa. I'm there to carry stuff for you. I know the way, and you're going on this journey, and I'm here behind you. I'm not necessarily leading you, but I'm behind you, telling you can do it. I know the way. I've been there, but now you need to go on your path, and I'm here. I've got you. That's how I really view myself in this incredible project.
But beautifully said too. Laurie, tell us, what do you personally hope to get out of contributing? So you just told us what you hope the readers get out of your chapter and reading the book in general, but what about you personally, Laurie? What do you hope to get out of it?
Okay, well, I'll try not to make you cry with this answer, but just kind of feeling like you may or may not get
Oh my God.
your tissues. You know what? I want to honor that little girl in me that was told her whole life, like, that she wasn't smart enough. That little girl used to write ferociously in her journals, and had, plenty of people say, like, yeah, that's writing's not for you, or your style is to this, or your style is to that. And that little girl just kept pushing me my whole life as I grew, and she was this part of me saying, is it time? Like, it's time to push ourselves. And just, I'm excited about pushing myself just out of my comfort zone a little bit. And also I'm being encouraged by that little girl who's like, I want to tell my story. Please let me tell my story. I don't feel shame anymore. I don't have to hide. I understand now. It's not my fault what we went through. I get the whole, the ancestors part of it. I really understand. And I know, so let's tell it. That's really, I hope to kind of fulfill a dream from my little girl, and say, you know what, you are important enough, and let's do this. And then learning, teaching, just the whole idea of doing something like an interview. I teach and I'm used to being in front of people, but just being in an interview talking about myself is something that I need to really like work on, just in terms of the confidence. But it's like an opportunity, it's an opportunity to grow and to see what I can do. So I'm just looking forward to the whole entire process of being afraid and being, you know, feeling even the doubt and being and saying, you know what, I learned how to work through that. I'm going to use the skills and just testing myself, really.
Beautiful.
I love it, Laurie, especially since you're a professional and you deal with people and their traumas and their fears and their doubts all the time, right? All the time.
Yeah.
You put others through it, and here you are being extremely vulnerable, extremely authentic, right? Because that's your thing, and you're saying, hey, I am kind of afraid of the different elements that are going to pop up in this, but I'm going to do this anyways because there's this little girl that all her life she's been wanting to shine, and I'm going to give her that opportunity. And it's absolutely beautiful, and it does make me choke up a bit because this is why we do this. This is why, we have decided to make this project. This is why we have decided to create a business around this, is because there's so many people like you, like me, like Tracy, who this has been their dream. And I thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for doing it, for doing it anyway, even though you're scared.
Yes, clicking the like, okay, I'm actually sending a message to say, oh, I'm interested. I have a vision board in my office, and I have every little piece of the journey that I was wanting to go on, but it wasn't happening the way I wanted it when I did the vision board. And so I folded it and I put it in the closet. And the amazing thing is when I take it out and look at it now, everything that I had on that vision board slowly is presenting itself and saying, hey, it's here for you, like your choice. But you did put it on your vision board, just saying it's there. So it's been a remarkable the last couple of months, just that little bit of belief in yourself, and then taking the chance, that's what I'm excited about, just seeing where this road goes.
The funny thing about that is that the universe has its sense of humor, and you put your intentions out into the universe. You created this vision board. You said, this is what I want. And then for whatever reason, because it wasn't turning out the way you hoped it would, it wasn't all coming together, you folded it up and you put it away. But the universe was still like, you know what, I'm just going to keep moving these chess pieces into place. And I'm going to keep putting these opportunities, this is what you said you wanted. And now you go back and look at it and you're like, I see you, universe. I know what's going on.
Yeah, like, okay, you remembered what I said. Okay, now what am I going to do about it? And that's the thing, right? A lot of times when the universe, if it's not, if we are, the flip side of the coin of, like putting your intentions in is if you put out self-sabotaging messages, even at a subconscious level, sometimes that's where it's like the universe is like, I have all this, but like you just don't believe in yourself yet, and I'm going to wait. And then here it is. Here's an opportunity. I've probably passed by other opportunities in the interim, just not feeling like, I could do it. But I've been seeing too many opportunities to say like, okay, now it's on you. It's not on the universe. It's on you. It's there. It's open for you. So it's the intention and the decision.
It is. And I love that you said that about how there were other opportunities that passed you by, because one of my favorite mantras is, what is for you shall not pass you. And by that, what that means is, even if you get presented with an opportunity by the universe, but you're not ready and you say no for whatever reason, or it slips away, if you were still meant to have that thing, another opportunity is going to present itself. It
Mm-hmm.
might not be exactly the same. It might not be the exact same opportunity, but it's still going to manifest again as another opportunity for you to say, yes, I want this. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm going to step forward this time. And a little bit like what you said about our subconscious self-sabotages and things as well. It's those same challenges. Sometimes the universe brings us the same challenges to overcome again. So that we finally move past it, because if we are just repeating the same cycles over and over, and this is very on topic for broken, we can choose to perpetuate the cycle and continue because we aren't ready to learn the lesson yet. And then this will bring us another situation where we get to maybe confront and tackle it and break that cycle and break those ancestral chains and change the narrative for the future. So I absolutely love everything you just said.
It's all information, right? Even the universe gives you information. I tell my clients, the universe speaks to you in whispers, right? It's whispering like, this is your job. But sometimes it just kind of whops you on the back of the head, right? Like, I've been whispering. I really need your attention here. I really need it.
You and Jenny are definitely cut from the same cloth, because one of her favorite sayings is everything is information. So
everything is information. If you take it good and bad away from it, it's information. What am I going to do with it now? Just take those labels off.
Yep. Laurie, one more question before we let you go, okay?
Sure.
So I know that we kind of touched on some of the things that you were a little bit weary and a little bit afraid of, right? But tell me what you're actually really excited about in this entire container, in this experience. What are you excited to experience?
What I'm excited about is it feels like I've been doing this. It feels like everything in my life prepared me for this one thing, right? And then this one thing is going to prepare me for the next one thing. And then hopefully maybe, writing and publishing my own book. It's the entire experience of being around people who are writers, right? I keep checking or thinking like, when's the next lesson going to open? Like I want to just really work on the craft too, but I'm just really excited about learning all about the process and reaching people. And just, if that one, I can think of books that I read, one by Judith Herman called Trauma and Recovery. I never saw myself in Cinderella. I never saw myself in any of the books where they had princesses, but I read this one book and there was just one chapter, and I read it and I thought for the first time, that's me. I see myself in this book, and I'm excited that somebody somewhere in this world of 8 billion people is going to read my chapter and say, I see myself in this book, and that's beyond exciting, because that one chapter in that one book really changed the trajectory of my life. And so I'm excited of all the possibilities, for all the possibilities that may come, for myself, but also for other people. It's exciting.
it is. It's the ripple effect, isn't it? We don't necessarily ever know. We don't ever necessarily get to see what the ripple effect is, but it doesn't mean that it isn't out there and that it isn't happening, and that one person who needs to read your chapter to change their life isn't out there waiting for it.
And the universe is going to bring it to them somehow, some way. And that's what's really cool.
Whether they like it or not.
Whether they like it or not, it's going to bring it to them. So that's what's really, and being a woman of my age, in my 50s, because once you get in your 50s, you're all the same age, right? I just feel like I have been, I've been through a lot, and I've learned a lot. And now it's like you said, you start thinking about, okay, what is my contribution to this world? What, I have been through a lot, but I feel like now I can be a vessel for other people, to sort of learn, maybe before I did, like, like maybe start before I did, find something to put them on that path of just believing in their own worth. You're not more worthy than other people, but you're certainly not less worthy. You are just worthy, period. And so that's what I'm excited about. I don't even need to know or ever meet that person, or I just know it's going to happen as it did for me. So it keeps me awake at night just thinking about it, honestly.
I feel that.
It's powerful. It's definitely powerful. So I just thank you so much for saying yes, for stepping up, for believing in yourself, for believing in us. And I just thank you for your time today, Laurie. And I just want to say, your shirt, the color of your shirt has not gone unnoticed.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
I'd like to say it wasn't planned, but that would not be authentic to say that.
Love it.
Thank you for your honesty, but we also
You're welcome.
Yes, we do appreciate.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on and getting me to push my comfort zone. Like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. That whole thing, like, get there and do it and see that you can do it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna need to go have a nap after, but
I hope this is just the first of many opportunities for you to get to step up and share your story in whichever way you wish, whether it's video, whether it's audio, whether it's written, and just really let this be one more step in a new pathway and a new journey to a new story.
And hopefully we'll continue to be able to work together as well, even beyond this series.
I hope so. I mean, we're actually very hard to get rid of. I'm just
Perfect. I have 5 boys that stick around too, so I'm kind of used to it. But I appreciate the opportunity and being part of the container. I just love that, the whole notion of that. So I'm really delighted to be on board here and working with everybody that's a part of this process. And I will love to help out anybody in any way that I can. So
amazing. Well, as we wrap up, can you just let everybody know, if they wanted to get in touch with you, where is the best place to find you online?
They can find me at ljbedard .lb@gmail.com. So if they have any questions, they can find me on Facebook, LJB and Associates, and on Instagram at LJB Associates. And so, yeah, anybody has questions, or even if they want to know, like, hey, I'm interested in maybe being a collaborator in a book, like, what's that step? I'm be happy to talk to anybody or help them in any way I can.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great. It was great talking with you.
Yes.
Okay, well, have an amazing day, and we look forward to spending lots and lots more time together with you as we go through this journey together.
Thank you so much, and same to you. Have a great day. Bye.